2 days away from the big game. It's two teams that know each other so well from over the season. Is there anything now that either team you feel can throw at the other team that's going to come as a surprise?
Yeah, there's always some things that you can throw that will come as a surprise, but then you probably do something that you've not done before, and then will that help you or no? I don't know. But let's see. There might be a trick up the sleeve for both teams, but yeah, it's difficult to say.
The season that the club's had has obviously been the best one in the history. Being part of that and now getting to this stage, the third final of the year that you've taken this club to, from a personal basis, how are you feeling about all of this and what you've achieved so far?
I don't think that I'm that focused on what we've achieved so far when you have something ahead of you that you want so much, right? So you think that the biggest achievement could lie ahead of you. But when the season's over, I think that, yeah, I will, have the opportunity to look back at a very good season for everybody in this club. And I think that's something that we can all be happy for because, you can't predict having a season like this going to the Champions Cup final, which has never happened in this club history before, and going to the Western Conference final and at the same year. And I think that's been amazing for me as a coach for a group of players who really, and it's not that it's just been easy for us because there's been a lot of adversity on the way with player injuries and with a lot of national team call-ups and all that stuff, which is obviously good for the players but cause a little bit of a headache for the coaches sometimes. But it's not been the straight road, and I think we've had sometimes over the course of the season also to dig deep to get here, and I think the players have been willing to do that all the way through, and yeah, I think when the season is done, then we can look back on achievements. But right now we are looking ahead for achieving something that we want really bad.
Sorry, John.
Yes, for a lot of the guys in this game, this is going to be the biggest game that they've played in the course of their careers. How do you advise them to approach that emotionally and mentally?
Yeah, we've been fortunate so far this season also to get big games before this one. We played the Champions Cup final, which was a big game for everybody and for all of us, of course. And you get to learn from experience like that how to handle your, the stress level and the mentality of the game and how you will approach it and, what is necessary to do in games like that and, how small of a balance you have to, or edge you have to, in order to succeed and or fail. And I think we've had big games throughout the season with also the semifinals against Miami, and I think we should be in a good state. The players should be in a good state, learning from those experiences we had before the games we have here. But we also saw the other day that games like this are special, and they are special, and a lot of stuff can happen through the course of 2.5 hours. So we're prepared for most of it. You can prepare for everything. We couldn't prepare for what happened the other day, even though we've been in situations before. But I think we showed that we have the mentality to go through a lot, and we will have to go through a lot to go on to the MLS Cup final, and we are ready to suffer on the pitch.
You've always struck me as a pretty cerebral, pragmatic guy. Do you have any superstitions heading into this one?
No, I don't. No, we prepare the best we can, and look at what we have ahead of us, and yeah, we'll just make ourselves ready, and then we'll see. Sometimes you have a little bit of luck, sometimes you have the opposite, and I don't believe that there's anything I can do to get more luck or not. I would have done it a long time ago.
Jesper, how impressive is it to see a rookie like Tate Johnson come in to the league and kind of take players like Lionel Messi on fearlessly and show that he belongs and he fits into the team? What kind of confidence does the team have in his abilities when he gets his opportunity?
I think the team has a lot of confidence in Tate. He has been playing a great season, and it's unpredictable sometimes how fast can players get into the team and be a regular player for a team when they come directly from college and is not used to maybe the level in daily training sessions, and how doable are they when they play senior football the first year. And I think he showed that he's really been able to take things in that we try to teach him, and he has been a very good player throughout the season and done extremely well. He's in a competitive situation where sometimes he's maybe not chosen, but often he has been, and every time we have chosen him, he's done very well. So I think it's a really a great credit to him, but also to the team as a whole. And I think that's what it's been about this year. A lot of players have been able to play, and including Tate. And it's not just because of themselves, but it's also because of their teammates, the ability they've had also to help around them. But Tate has been amazing all season long, and it's been such a great first season for him.
What update do you have on Bilal and Daniel Rios? They were working a little bit in the gym today.
Yeah. Have you been there working with them? No?
I'm always there.
Okay. No. Bilal, he has knee injury. We expect it to be 7 to 10 weeks, which is obviously not good, but not the worst either. So that's actually quite positive from when we saw him right after the game, where we had the feeling that it could be worse. Daniel Rios has started his rehab. He was also on the pitch yesterday to do some pitch work, but is not available for the game, but will be hopefully returning anytime soon. We don't know exactly when, but if he can follow his program, he'll be more on the pitch next week, and then we'll see.
Jesper, the one thing that's been impressive with your team is the poise, poise over penalties, poise when bad things happen. Have you seen that even grow more this year? Like the championship team has to have that, right? So where do you think that comes from, and have you seen it even get better?
It comes from the confidence we have in each other, I think, and also been able to pull off some of these things. We had early on the game against LAFC, where we were down 2-0 after 17 minutes, came back and drawed. We were behind 2-0 in Real Salt Lake after 7 minutes, and we end up winning 3-2. And the team has just always kept focused and tried to pull back. Sometimes we have not been able to, but many times we succeeded also late in games, and I think that's because people really have a strong belief in what we're doing and the way we play, and also in their teammates, and that we have done it before means so much, right? So we have the belief that we can always do it again, and I think that's just something that grows within a team and within a group. And it's easy also for me as a coach to remember this time, remember that one. Remember we were behind 1-0 in Miami. We came back, we won 3-1. It's in big games. Don't get frustrated, and don't start to play on your own just because we're behind with one goal or whatever. We can come back. So it's it's that belief, and then when you've done it, you just get an even stronger belief together, right? And that's been unreal maybe for this group, the way it's been this year. Also looking back for the game in Pumas when we got behind late, but managed to get through anyway. So I think it's something that we have managed to build together, and hopefully that's something that we can keep in this group and with the group for a long time in the future as well.
And just one more, I mean, that's going to come in handy. On the road, typically, you'd have to put up with things, but to have I just wanted to point towards Thomas. I know you obviously know what the answer is, but just to have him there in the presence, it seems the stars always shine when the spotlight is on. Are you expecting nothing less than brilliance from him?
Yeah, I don't know if I expect nothing less. I think the good thing about Thomas is that he can affect things in so many ways, and he doesn't have to play like a brilliant player to affect his teammates and his team positively, and I think that's a very good thing to have. So it's not that we rely on magic, but we rely on coherence, and that he also leads the team in certain areas, and he will always do that no matter what. And then, like the goal in Orlando, you cannot predict it. It was of course a special moment, but having also that kind of quality on the pitch always helps everybody have strong belief.
Jesper, you've played a lot of good players this year. You can play another good one this weekend, Andrew Dreer. Just what's going to be the challenge with him? Because as we know, he can score goals, but he can also set them up. He scored a great one on Monday. What are some things you're looking out for from him?
No, we know him very well. But he has been, really setting a high standard for himself in this league. I would say an amazing first season for him, and he's the go-to guy when things has to be decided. But he's a really technical, skilled player with a very good shot from within 25 yards, and he's very dangerous not only in the finishing part but also in setting other players up, and he's a very tricky player who can play in lots of spaces, and we have to have an extra eye on him. Of course we have to, because he's such a decisive player for them, and I think that it's something that every team says and have had difficulties with, but I think last time we succeeded pretty well. But you never know. He's a quality player and he can do something all of a sudden in a game. But we know what he's about and what he's good at, and of course we'll try to see if we can limit him.
You guys have scored different goals these playoffs. Last game you scored set piece, we score a direct ball. Just looking at that play with Yohei finding Sabi, how important is it to have plays like that when teams press you, that you can destabilize them in different ways than just playing through the press?
Yeah, that's obviously you want to be able to attack different places on the pitch at the same time, so it's difficult for the opponents to close you down, and I think that's something that we developed throughout the year, the season, and I really think that we have a lot of options to attack opponents, and one of them was, we can go to the backspace if it's open and we have the right connection, and I think that's also something that we see San Diego is very good at. So I think it's when things are closed one place, then you have to look for other places to open it up, and then you have to be a threat in different spaces at the same time, and then it's up to the players on the pitch to find the solutions that match what they see.
So, me being more beginner, my question is, how do you decide on the lineup for this game, and have you picked out particular players who might play better in San Diego, or because you've had experience?
Yeah, that's what we normally do, right? It's not just for the game like this. It's always a process. You see the training session who looks fresh and fit, and then you have also, you have a team that has been playing a certain way, where people also have been doing very well throughout the year, and you put everything into the what would you say, and stir it up, and then you figure out what comes out, right? But it's not that we change a lot every time. It's because we also have a base and a way that we would like to play. But sometimes you have to try something new, also due to injuries and obviously suspensions. We've had some over the course of the season. So you have to figure out how do you think the game is going to be played? How do you think that you can be most efficient in a game that you foresee play out in San Diego, and then which players will fit to that assignment, and that's how you figure it out.
Okay, we'll go online now. Patrick, please.
Yes, we're just in sort of a similar vein there. I mean, you obviously have a choice, whether it's difficult or not, I'm not sure, at center back. There's moving Matthias in, for instance, but I was just wondering about Jodrick, because he was signed here to play, but obviously circumstance have limited his minutes. Is he a guy that could go a full 90 at this point?
Yeah, I think, of course, that's a good question, and it's a good question because we haven't seen it yet, right? So that's relevant. We believe he's in good shape. He was unfortunate when he came. He got an injury right before and was out with a hamstring injury for a long time, and now he came back when everything is to be decided. But he's ready to play, and I think that he's ready to play also substantial minutes. Yeah, sometimes you can do a little bit more than you think. Probably a lot more than your mother think. But that's how it is in this world, right? So I think he can do a lot.